Good afternoon folks, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. Welcome back to another week of review videos, and here's the first one. This is a little unusual, but I've done this because I like it. We are in the South Atlantic, around about 1,200 miles from the nearest other land. This is the island of St. Helena. The scenery you're looking at is a freeware version, obtainable on FLIGHTSIM.TO. I'll put it up in a minute. So, St. Helena Island, Foxtrot Hotel, Sierra Hotel. This is a freeware scenery by kychung.com. The airport is version 1.7.3 for the PC version of FLIGHTSIM.2020. Now, in order to enjoy what you're looking at, you also need, as well as the airport, the aerial imagery folder, which is nearly 3 gigs, but it basically covers the whole island and makes it much more realistic. So downloads, the airport downloads at 31.9 meg and it installs at 39.4 megs. The aerial imagery comes in at 2.48 gigs and installs at 2.51 gigs. Both are currently available from FLIGHTSIM.TO, and of course they're free, and I've put links up there to the two files. I'll also put them in the description. Just one or two important notes from the creator. I fell into this and I managed to sort the problem out by doing exactly what he suggested. Basically now the navigation data and the scenery have been separated. So if you experience double runways or bumps or anything like that, you need to delete or rename the navdata /fhsh.bgl file. If you've subscribed to any third-party nav data from vendors like Navigraph, and I have, for example, do exactly the same thing. What I've done is I simply renamed that file. Also check here if you experience the very common double runway issue, or if a big hump is experienced at the conjunction between a taxiway and runway. And I'll put links to one Navigraph forum post and one YouTube video that tells you how to use the reorder option in the developer mode to place the airport in the right location between the two nav databases, such that the double runways will actually disappear. As I said, I carried out this process, took a few minutes, and as you can see, I have the runway complete with no double runways or additional options at all. Everything seems to work. So no specific features as such. As I said, this is freeware. There is a payware version out there, and to be honest, I think this is at least as good. And if you fancy going here, you're going to enjoy it because it looks great. Both the airport and the island looks great. Interesting place to visit. So that's the intro. Let's look at some history of this place. So, history. St. Helena Airport, Foxtrot Hotel, Sierra Hotel, is a public use international airport owned by the St. Helena government and operated by the St. Helena Airport Limited. The airport lies on St. Helena, a remote island in the South Atlantic Ocean in the British Overseas Territory of St. Helena, Ascension and Tristan da Cunha. The construction of the runway was finished in 2015 and the airport opened in 2016. The inaugural scheduled flight was delayed, but general aviation, charter and medical evacuation flights were able to serve the airport from May 2016. The airport began scheduled commercial services on the 14th of October 2017, when the South African carrier Airlink inaugurated a weekly service from Oliver Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg, South Africa, via Walvis Bay Airport in Namibia, using an Embraer 190-100. This flight took place about 1.5 years after the original expected opening date of the airport, and with a smaller sized aircraft because of the wind shear problems affecting St. Helena's airport. Additionally, monthly charter flights operate between Ascension Island and St. Helena. St. Helena is more than 1,200 miles or 2,000 kilometers from the nearest major landmass. Prior to the opening of the airport, the island was only reachable by sea, making it one of the most remotely populated places on Earth. Sea journeys used to take 5 days from Cape Town, with departures once every 3 weeks. From the 1960s, there was an idea to build an airport on the island. In 1999, this was taken up by the island government. It was suggested that an airport would extend the UK's abilities to carry out airborne missions in the South Atlantic region, such as maritime patrols, counter-piracy missions along important trade routes, and airlift operations, notably into southern Africa. According to some analysts, the UK government's decision to go ahead with building the airport after long delays seemed to be driven in part by concerns over the continuing standoff with Argentina regarding the sovereignty of the Falkland Islands. St. Helena is about 3,800 miles or 6,135 kilometres from the Falkland Islands, or some 7 hours and 40 minutes flying time. But most analysts say that the new airport was nevertheless an improvement over the present state of isolation from the UK for both St. Helena and the Falklands. So there you are, folks, a brief history. As you can see, for some time it was felt that this island was crying out for an airport, and now it's got it. The airport does suffer from wind shear and all sorts of conditions like that. It's a challenging place to land at. But however, it serves the island community now a lot better. Okay, so let's talk runways. Okay, runways. As you can see, I've lowered the lighting. It's 6:15 or 5:45 PM in the evening local time. It's mid-February 2024. St. Helena operates a single runway, 0119, measuring 6,398 feet or 1,950 metres, and is constructed from concrete. The airport lies at an elevation of 1,017 feet or 310 metres and sits within the GMT UTC time zone, exactly the same as the UK. Now, this island does not observe daylight saving time. Okay, so both runway ends feature high-intensity runway lighting, high-intensity airfield lighting system, and precision approach path indicators. Now on runway 01 they're on the left side, and this is correct here, and on runway 19, the other end, which we'll look at in a minute, they're on both sides. Approach options available. Again, both runway ends feature RNP approach options, with runway 19, the other end, having a DME, or distance measuring equipment. And also you have VOR DME approach options again for both runways. There's also a note here at the bottom. It says pilots should take note that there are strong winds around the runways here, with wind shear, sometimes severe, a very common occurrence. So you guys take care on your landings approaches if you're using real weather. So as you can see, we've got the approach lights here, the minimal approach lights, again marked on the charts, PAPI's on the left, and the high intensity runway lighting. Let's have a look at the other end, runway 19. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 19, and as you can see, two sets of PAPI's as per the charts. Approach lights here as well, and the extended threshold, which again is shown on the charts. So navigation aids, there's the VOR station, this is to the right here. There it is. So navigation aids lighting here is just as per the charts. So that's runways. So there are no jetways at this airport, so let's get down to the airport proper and have a little look round, and then have a look round the island. Okay, so here we are. We'll start off with the main ramp, which is what you pilots will need to see. Just for a change, I put the Boeing business jet there. This is the aircraft I'm using for my world tour at the moment. Currently we're stuck in Accra, having issues trying to get out of Accra at the moment. When I head east, I'm getting crashed to desktop somewhere about an hour and a half after takeoff. However, that's another matter for me to look at. So here we are. The scenery's pretty basic, but you know, it looks good, everything you need. There's the fence line. The terrain is nicely modelled. There's the terminal building, the airside road along with it. And here looking towards the threshold of runway 01, which is on the left there. You've got windsocks at both ends of the runway. You've got various vehicles. There's the fire trucks. And this is the control tower up here. And various bits and pieces that make this look quite nice. And you've got your manoeuvring lines as well on the apron. So there's a look showing you an overview of the airport, both airside and landside. You've got the landside roads fully 3D modelled, along with cars, nothing sitting in the wrong position. It all looks nice, it really does. There's a close-up look at the airport building terminal from landside, and a look across the car park. As you can see, nice modelling. The car models are good, perfectly acceptable. Unfortunately, we have this tower beacon here sitting in the middle of nowhere, which hopefully can be corrected at some point. And probably the only thing that's missing that really would make this airport is some people. Nowadays we have 3D people models, both animated and static, that have little or no effect on frame rate at all, and could be added to this place to develop it a little more. Obviously that depends on what the developer wants to do, but it would be nice to see various people in various places, and possibly one or two animations, or even internal development of the terminal. I don't know. It really depends on how far the developer wants to go. But if you want a decent airport for St. Helena without paying any money for it, this is it. This is the one. You know, it's great. Close up of the control tower. Again, very simple modelling, but it's there. And as you can see, it's modelled inside to a basic extent, but nothing more than that. So as you can see, the building is fine, modelling is fine, it's excellent. You know, nothing fancy, it's all that you need. A couple of fire tenders there as well. And then you've got the fuel truck, and you've got the fuel station there in the far corner of the airport. And again, notice that he's even had the audacity, if you want to call it that. He's decided to even add the detail with the airside fence, and you've got the razor wire on top. This is mandatory. ICAO regulations require an airport boundary fence 2.9 meters high with a crank neck facing outwards with razor wire on top. So that makes this now a category 7 international airport, and you have to have 24-hour fire cover, which they clearly have. And there's a high-level shot showing you the landside area. Here you can see the road has been 3D modelled all the way out as far as this area. In the distance you've got wind turbines there on the top of the hills. And there's another high-level shot there showing you the airport runway, and the stepped-up building area here that they've done to get the runway on a level. I believe this took quite a while and quite a lot of work to achieve this. And there's the apron area. And lastly, here's a high-level shot showing you the island and the bays below, and you can see how much of a difference this aerial imagery file really makes. It really does look good. So let's lower the lighting now and have a look and see how the airport looks at dusk. So 6 PM local time. As you can see, there's a little bit of lighting on the airfield. You can't see much from up here, but it's nice to see the island bathed in the glow of sunset. Let's get down to the ramp and see what the lighting is like close up. So here's an overview from a slightly closer look, and as you can see, plenty of ramp lighting, all supplied by the proper lights here. You also have blue airfield edge lights for taxiing out, and you can see the runway marking signs are there too. And the only bugbear is that white and green light. Really, if they could get rid of that, this would look really so much better. So here's the terminal building up close. Again, very nice, quite simplified, but no issues at all. Be nice to see some people, both airside and in the building, if you chose to do that. And again, you have the same simplified lighting on the building here with the control tower. No problems, it looks fine, looks perfectly okay. So here's a view from landside. As you can see, we've got ASOBO glows floating around now, but I'm not really going to complain. This is a free scenery that's been nicely modelled and gives you a really good airport here. For what you can see, it's great. Be nice to see some improvements. The real big improvement is getting rid of that white and green flashing light which sits in the wrong place. You could exclude that, and that would be a big improvement to this scenery. There's the building landside. Oh, it looks fine. Nothing great to shout out about, but you've got everything here. for a free scenery, it's lovely. So here we are, Taxiway Alpha takes you onto the runway. There you've got the 2 runway signs. And there, looking back at the terminal, again I would have expected to see this side of the signs marked with as Taxiway Alpha or some sign to the apron, but there's nothing on here. I don't know how it is in the real world. Anybody out there lives in St. Helena that's a flight simmer? I don't know, maybe you can give me your opinions. But usually when you exit the runway, there's normally a light there, yellow light, telling you what taxiway it is. Okay, it's the only one, but usually they're marked. And a quick look down the runway to runway 19 end with the threshold extension. And they're looking to the threshold of runway 01, and you've got the sun pretty much going down in the distance. Okay, so let's drop it down to night time now. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see, plenty of light on the ramp there and landside. The glow is big enough for you to find your way into the ramp without any issue at all. And there's a view showing you the exit from the runway. The blue airfield edge lights will help. You'll need your nose gear light to help you get this far, but it should be fine. And as I said, I would have expected yellow Alpha taxiway markings on the reverse side of the 2 runway signs. We'll see. Well, here's my aircraft parked on the stand. As you can see, perfectly acceptable lighting. It's all really, really nice. The only irritation I have to say is that white and green light. That really needs to be got rid of. It's the only real complaint about this scenery. And again, there we are landside. Nice adequate view. If any of you want to get in a car or anything that you find there and drive around the road, you can at least do that. So here's the road that goes out of the airport, which isn't lit. But as you can see, you've got various bits and pieces around the island worth exploring at night or at dusk that could be fun. Right, so let's bring the dawn up and have a look at the resulting glow, see what it looks like. Okay, 25 past 5 in the morning, and here we are looking towards the west, and there you can see the glow on the airport itself, which looks really pleasant also, especially on the hills. Runway 01 threshold and runway 19 threshold with the extended part, and also here's the VOR station we talked about earlier. And there's the sun rising in the east. Okay, 15 minutes later, 20 to 6 in the morning. I've kept it at this time because I think the glow on the island looks really good. Time to give you my thoughts and conclusions. If you want a freeware version of an unusual airport right out in the middle of the South Atlantic, this is it. It's lovely. It's very, very nicely done. It's very simplified, but with the changes that you might need to make if you have Navigraph or the external bits and pieces, they all work. As I said, I've done it here and it works here, and you've got really, with the aerial scenery, you've got a really fantastic little airport and an island and a place to go into. I like it a lot. Okay, things I maybe like to see the developer do, should he wish to. Be nice to have some people around the airport, inside and outside. Maybe develop the inside of the terminal a bit more. Add some people. But the really big niggle is to get rid of that green and white lights, because it just doesn't work. That's the biggest issue I have with this. I don't know if it exists in the payware. But like I said, you know, this is free. Bless him, he's done a lovely job. It looks beautiful, and the aerial imagery really sort of adds to it as well. So yeah, a very basic airport, but if you want this island and this airport without having to buy it, I mean, this is it. It's great. It's very, very nice. So yes sir, if you're looking or watching the video, try and get rid of the white and green flashing light, because that doesn't work. And as I said, if you consider maybe developing the terminal and the control tower and adding a few people, that would be wonderful. But as it is, as a standalone freeware product, I think it's great. It's well worth it. Excellent. So there you go, folks. St. Helena Island Airport, Foxtrot Hotel Sierra Hotel, freeware scenery by kychung.com, with the airport version 1.7.3 for the PC version of FLIGHTSIM 2020. You've got 2 files to download should you wish to have them. You've got the scenery for the airport and the aerial imagery that gives you the lovely island the way it looks here. The download for the airport, 31.9 meg, which installs at 39.4 meg. The download for the aerial imagery, 2.48 gigs, and installs at 2.51 gig. Are both currently freely available from FLIGHTSIM.TO, and I've got the links up there, and there'll be links in the description below. And as I said, if you install this and you've got double runways or bumps or issues, or certainly if you use Navigraph or any third-party developer like I do, have a look at the YouTube video or the forum Navigraph post about double runways, and they should help you remove them, as indeed they have in my case here. And again, links in this description below. So thanks for joining me, folks. Hope you've liked this. I think it was about time to do a freeware scenery, and this one caught my eye, mainly because it's such an unusual place out in the middle of nowhere. And any of you cargo pilots in the Hercules and so on fancy coming out here, it's great. It really is great. So guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. If you like my videos and you like what you see, happy for you to put comments in the comment section below. I try to respond to every one of them. And also, if you want to support me, buy me a coffee. It's cheap. I'm a one-man band. A good 50-55% of the sceneries I get to review I buy myself, and so there you go. I do this all for myself. I'm a one-man band trying to give something back to the flight sim community, and I'm retired, so if you fancy supporting my efforts, buying me a coffee would be very nice. Thank you very much. So 2 more videos hopefully to come this week. We'll be looking at the new scenery by Beautiful Model of the World for Miami International Airport. Now obviously you know that Latin VFR have got a version out, which I have and I quite like. So does this new version better it? We'll see, we'll have a look at that. And then later we'll look at Banja Luka International Airport, another Bosnian-Serbian airport released by Orbix not too long ago. And yeah, we'll have a close look at that, and that's really quite a nice airport too. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.